Here's the thing most men don't want to admit. Emotional distance doesn't just happen. It's created. Not because she's confused, not because she's busy, and definitely not because you sent the wrong text. She's pulling back on purpose. And right here is where most men destroy their own attraction. They chase. They explain. They try to fix something that was never broken by accident. That's how attraction dies quietly. In this video, I'll show you 5 clear signs she's creating emotional distance on purpose, and exactly how a stoic-minded man responds without panic, without neediness, and without losing self-respect. No theory, no quotes, just real behavior and clean reactions. Let's break it down. Sign number 1, her replies become polite instead of personal. At first, her messages had weight. She asked questions. She reacted emotionally. She shared details. Now, lol. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Short, clean, empty. This isn't random. When a woman wants emotional distance, she removes emotional investment first, not physical presence. She's still replying, but she's no longer participating. This is her saying, I'm keeping the connection alive, but I'm stepping back. It's subtle. Most men don't notice it until weeks go by. What happens is that the tone of the conversation changes slowly. Messages that once carried meaning now feel automatic. She's still engaged enough to keep you in orbit, but she's actively protecting her emotional energy. Recognizing this early prevents wasted effort and confusion. How most men react: wrong move. They try to revive the spark by texting more, asking deeper questions, sending longer messages, explaining how they feel. That doesn't pull her back. It confirms that you feel the distance more than she does. Stoic reaction, right move. You match energy, not words. Short replies, you stay composed. You don't compensate. Why? Because emotional control is power. If she's testing whether she can step back while you chase forward, your calm response answers the question. And here's the key. You don't withdraw to punish. You withdraw to regain balance. You let the conversation be what it is, instead of what you wish it were. Responding calmly communicates self-respect without needing validation. Over time, this subtle stability can pull her closer, or clarify that she isn't willing to engage. Either outcome saves you from unnecessary stress. Sign number 2, she stops initiating but always responds. She never texts first anymore. But when you do, she replies. This confuses men. She's still interested, right? Maybe. But interest without initiative is low-leverage interest. This pattern means, I want access to you, but I don't want to invest. That's emotional distance with a safety net. Why she does this? Because initiating creates vulnerability. And when a woman is uncertain or recalibrating attraction, she removes vulnerability first. It's a quiet form of self-protection. She's maintaining control over how much emotional energy she gives while still keeping you nearby. For a man who doesn't recognize this, it can feel like a roller coaster, hope mixed with frustration. Understanding this as a pattern allows you to remain grounded instead of chasing instability. How most men react. They double down on initiating. Good morning texts, random check-ins, just thinking about you. All of that signals, I'm more invested than you. Attraction doesn't grow there. Stoic reaction. You stop chasing clarity. You let silence exist. Not dramatically, not coldly, just naturally. You allow space to reveal intent. A stoic man doesn't beg for effort. He observes behavior and adjusts accordingly. If she values the connection, she'll step forward. If she doesn't, you just save time and dignity. By not overreacting to absence, you maintain your frame and subtly test whether her engagement is real or convenient. This creates respect naturally, without manipulation. Sign number 3, conversations stay surface level on purpose. You try to go deeper. She keeps it light. Jokes, memes, general talk. She avoids feelings, plans, emotional topics, anything that creates intimacy. That's not immaturity. That's intentional emotional containment. She's keeping you at arm's length. What this really means: she's unsure whether she wants closeness or she already decided she doesn't. And instead of saying it directly, she creates distance indirectly. It's like she's putting up invisible barriers, but leaving just enough space to remain in your orbit. The key is noticing that these barriers aren't random, they are consistent, and they reveal her true comfort zone. Once you see the pattern, you can respond strategically instead of emotionally. Common male mistake: trying to break through emotionally, opening up more, sharing vulnerability early, explaining intentions. That doesn't create intimacy, it creates imbalance. Stoic reaction: you don't force depth. Depth that's forced feels unsafe. You remain relaxed, grounded, and present. You let emotional doors open from her side. Stoicism teaches this well. You don't control outcomes. You control your response. And your response here is patience, not pressure. Patience signals emotional maturity. It also quietly tests whether she values authentic connection or just temporary attention. Your calm becomes an invisible standard that filters out unstable attachment. Sign number 4. She becomes less available, but more visible. This one messes with men's heads. She's busy. She can't meet. She cancels or reschedules. But online, active, posting, living life. This isn't about time. It's about priority. She's creating distance while staying visible so you don't disappear completely. Why this happens? She's managing emotional access. Too much closeness feels uncomfortable. Too much distance feels risky. So she floats in between. She's sending a subtle signal. I'm here, but I'm not fully yours. Many men misread this as casual disinterest or game playing. Recognizing it as a deliberate boundary gives clarity. Wrong reaction: calling it out emotionally. You seem distant lately. Did I do something wrong? You're always busy now. That puts you beneath the frame. Stoic reaction: you respect her behavior, not her words. You don't argue with availability. You mirror reality. If she's less available, you become less accessible emotionally. Not as a tactic, as a boundary. A stoic man doesn't demand priority. He responds to patterns. Responding calmly to her availability teaches that your emotional balance isn't negotiable. This keeps your value high and makes her choices about investing more deliberate. Sign number 5. She pulls back right after emotional closeness. This is the biggest one. Things feel good. You connect. There's warmth. Then suddenly distance. Cold replies. Less effort. Less emotion. This isn't coincidence. This is a pull-away pattern. What's happening psychologically? Closeness triggered vulnerability. Vulnerability triggered fear. So she creates space to regain control. This doesn't mean she doesn't like you. It means she's regulating emotion. She's consciously or unconsciously maintaining control over her attachment while gauging yours. Men often misread this as rejection, but it's more nuanced. It's a test of how secure you are emotionally. Most men panic here. They try to lock it down, clarify the relationship, push for reassurance. That escalates the pull-away. Stoic reaction: you stay centered. You don't chase closeness that just happened. You allow the connection to breathe. You act like a man who isn't afraid of space. Because confidence isn't proven by holding on. It's proven by not needing to. By not panicking, you create an invisible frame of reliability. She notices it subconsciously. Stability becomes attractive, and emotional distance either softens naturally or becomes a clear signal for you to disengage. If this video helped you see things more clearly, you already know what to do. Subscribe. This channel is about emotional control, respect, boundaries, and understanding women's behavior without losing yourself. Drop a comment. Which sign have you seen most often? And remember, distance doesn't scare a stoic man. It reveals the truth. I'll see you in the next one.